Hi, I build worlds for a living, but I don't build them alone.
I'm Jeannie, the first reader and the partner who keeps the real world running.
I'm J.E. Sutton Jr. This is the Co-Authored Life.
A look at the stories we share and the life we're building together.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
It's been an eventful weekend
It
so
has.
far.
I'm tired.
Yeah, we're a little late recording this because we had such a busy day yesterday.
Yes, and we got too much sun as my face
I
reflects.
can tell.
You can't tell on you.
My arms are all like
Brown.
brown. Yep.
Yeah, they're not red like a tomato face.
So
Ugh.
let's jump right in to
Pages and
pages.
process.
So yesterday we had the great privilege of taking part in Independent Bookstore Day, which is an annual celebration of independent bookstores all over the United States, and it could possibly even internationally. I'm not sure if it's international or not, but definitely in the United States. And so we were at the San Marco Books and More on San Marco Boulevard here in Jacksonville, and they had a ton of local authors there. They had lots of events going on. They did this great thing. I wish we could have taken part in it, but it was the audiobook walk where they put on their headphones and they took a walk around the square.
They do that other days too, and we should probably do that because we are audiobook files.
So
Is that the right word?
audio files?
Audiobook
Book files? I don't know. Well, look it up.
I just made it up.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Our audience will tell us. They'll
Yeah.
write in and tell us if we're right about that. So anyway, we were there from 10 to 2, signing autographs, selling copies of the Failsafe program and Cybernetic Resonance, which, as you know, released just a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago, around 10 days ago now.
A little over,
A
yeah.
little over 10 days.
10 days in a day yesterday.
So it was a very good day. We sold some books, met our expectations.
Exceeded our expectations.
Yeah, you're right. We did. We exceeded our expectations.
We always lowball, which is a good thing because then we're like, oh,
that's really good.
We did that.
In fact, Jeannie sold a copy of the Failsafe program while I was packing up the car. So it was like I got back. She says, "Oh, I sold another copy." Like, oh, that's great. So, but we were there for 2 hours. The only downside is we were in the hot sun, beating down on us for 2 hours. So that's why the
red face.
The red face.
We learned some things. We need a bigger table,
right,
and probably a tent or some kind of.
Well, we're going to do an event in July. We definitely need a tent for that. So we'll probably
definitely need.
So we're
going to
be working on our setup. We scoped out all the other authors that were there for what they were doing. You know, you do what you always do at those events and say, "Oh, I'd like that," or "Ooh, I'm not going to make that mistake."
Right.
And I'm sure they were saying the same thing. They were probably saying to us, "Ooh, those people need a tent.
Those people need a bigger table. That table's tiny. Our table was tiny. It was a little 4x2 table.
For those of you watching the video, we'll show you a little picture of the table. But we met some local authors. Jeannie bought several books, which we'll talk about in a later segment, and she got herself some swag, some totes,
because you can never have too many totes.
Too many totes.
Oh, microphone.
Whatever. Yeah, don't.
There you go.
Indie shop local. Yeah.
Shop indie shop local.
Shop indie shop local.
So that one is cute, and that was the official. One of the official ones, and then this one I love. I'm totally going to use.
Fight evil, read books.
Yes.
That is great advice.
Yes, and it's perfect. It's book sized.
Yes, because you can't fight evil if you don't read and you don't educate yourself and you don't know what the world's about. So that's very good advice. So very good outing. It was really nice talking to some local authors. The folks at San Marco Books and More were amazing folks. Did a very good job of keeping us informed about the event, letting us know how to set up, what to expect. When we went to check out and settle up everything, which is, that's the business side of it that you have to deal with, but they were incredibly efficient, had us out of there quickly. So we are very, very pleased with that. And this was our second event.
Yeah.
So you learn something each time, and I think we were better this time than the first time. I know we were because we got started a lot faster. I have to warm up to these events because it's not in my nature. People who know me don't think that's true, but it really takes a lot out of me to be in social situations like that.
He came home and
I
crashed
did crash
hard.
A combination of the heat and the emotion of having to be on for people for 2 hours, which is really a lot of work for me.
It's
Doesn't
tough peopling.
It is tough peopling, especially with strangers that you have no connection to. So, but we met a lot of several local authors, got some new books, got maybe some contacts. Talked to this one local author. We talked about maybe a future sort of festival that we might try to get started with local authors.
Yeah. And also, we kind of made a decision about the first book, the Fail Safe program. There were people, everybody comes up and asks, so is this an audiobook?
Right.
And it's expensive to make an audiobook.
So yeah, so that's one thing we have made a decision about. We've been looking at it anyway, but audiobooks, for those you don't know who aren't in the industry, for an independent author, for self-published author, they're incredibly expensive. You have to put sometimes thousands of dollars up front to produce these books, and the margins on the audiobooks are not really any greater than they are for published books, which is you earn a couple of dollars or so per sale. It's really not. You have to make a lot of sales to make that up. So
Right.
we had been sort of talking about it, trying to budget it, thinking about it, but we had at least 2 or 3 requests just yesterday alone for audiobooks. I know there's a huge market for them. So we have made a decision. We are in negotiations right now with a audiobook producer to produce a audio version of the Failsafe program. So I'm hoping to have that done and released maybe within the next couple of months. Depends on their availability and timeline, but we're working forward that now, and hopefully by next week we'll have something more concrete with timelines. But
it was fun listening to the auditions.
Yeah, so how that process works, we registered, got the book sample out there, and we got more than a dozen auditions from audiobook producers who wanted to record and produce the audiobook. And it was really fun kind of listening to it, saying, well, that one, I like this part of that one, I like this part of that one. And one of the authors really captured the voice of one of the characters, and I think that's
not
who we're going to go.
authors.
Huh?
Narrators, not authors.
I'm sorry, narrators. One of the narrators really captured the voice of one of the characters, and I think that's who we're going to go with.
Yeah.
So we're in negotiations with that
Yeah.
narrator now. So we will do the audiobook for the Failsafe program. We'll see how that goes. If that goes fairly well, we'll look into the cybernetic resonance.
We could do it ourselves, but that would mean, and they have little pop-up studios that we could buy for a couple $100 and do it ourselves. But that is, I don't know, that's something we're ready to take on yet. Who knows?
The challenge for a fiction book versus a nonfiction book is that you really need acting skills to do a nonfiction book, because there are characters. You're supposed to get into characters. You're supposed to have different voices for the different characters. The narrator has a different voice, especially in a third person point of view that I write in, has a different voice than the characters. And you have to switch rapidly between those. And it can take a really, really long time. Even a professional audiobook producer doing the narration takes somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 times the number of hours of work to get to the finished product. So if you have a 6-hour audiobook, it can take you 18 to 20 hours of work to get that done. So it's quite an endeavor. If you were doing a nonfiction book, if this was a memoir and just talking about my life and my voice, I could probably do that. We would just need the equipment in the studio to do it. But I'm not a voice actor. I'm not good at that. Jeanne has done it with the aid of some alcohol, but we couldn't even get through a whole chapter of her doing different voices without.
Because I hadn't in my mind set who was who yet. But anyway, so that's exciting, the Failsafe program and the audiobook.
Right.
Look for more announcements that will be coming. We're we're in talks right now.
Yep.
The biggest news we have today
Yep.
is we can finally talk about the third book.
The third book.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we can talk about the third book because we had a visitor at the Independent Bookstore Day at San Marco Books. Was our good friend Amber Sherrill.
Yes.
Showed up to buy a copy of Cybernetic Resonance for her partner. Is that the phrase we're going to use? For her partner. And of course to support us. But she also had another milestone to help us with. She's been working on a project and she delivered her work today. She delivered her artwork for the cover of our next book. And so last night, after she delivered this, we were able to put it together in a format for the cover for my next novel, which we're gonna reveal right now.
Yes, this is so exciting.
The title, and we'll talk just a little bit about it. We're not going to talk a lot about what we're going to do. So here's the
up.
Yeah. Here's the.
Can you go forward?
Cover. Eclosion point.
Yeah, you talk. I'll show.
Jeanne will hold it up, and maybe you should get a better view of it. Eclosion point is the name of it. Yeah, that's good. Eclosion point is the name of the novel. So then this novel is in the same universe as the Alan Harrison and Layla series, but it's not featuring those characters. Yeah. This novel features the character of Ava Chen, the CISA agent who appears in the Failsafe program and has a minor scene in Cybernetic Resonance. This tells her story and has her involved in an exciting case of her own. It's a little different from
it's very different.
Yeah, it's very different from the Alan Harrison and Layla stories. It's not dramatically different in tone. I mean, it is still a story about mystery and intrigue. It still has technological, sort of ethical boundary discussions, and it's still very, very much set just a little bit in the future. But Ava's a different character, and it's not a tight, fast-paced thriller. It's more of a slower-paced, more Jeanne call it sort of almost a procedural thriller, but
not really a true procedural because it still has all of the mystery and intrigue and technical-esque features of the Alan Harrison and Layla books.
Right.
But it is grittier and a little more adult. I would say a bit of spice, not.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't want anybody to be concerned about that. It's not.
No.
There's no graphic nature to this novel at all. But it does have slightly more real life sort of relationship themes in it for Ava. So we will get to know who she is and where she came from. We'll get to know a little bit more about her background. And she's less of sort of just a Sphinx-like badass that she is in the Failsafe program. So we'll tell more about her story in this book.
It kind of gives you some depth to her character now that I've read all. Well, I haven't finished the Eclosion point because we're still editing, and sometimes we're not on the same page literally.
Because I'm a couple of chapters ahead of you.
Yeah. But you understand why she is the way she is in the Failsafe program and Cybernetic Resonance. It's not that she is like this robot. She is
right. She has motivation. She has fears. She has things she's struggling with.
Right. But she doesn't let people in.
Right. She is. So I think you'll recognize the character. She's the same character, but we delve a little bit more realistically into who she is and what's driving her, because the book is definitely from her point of view. It is still a third person point of view book, but it's definitely follows her and is centered around her and her adapting to a new role in her work. So
yeah, I don't know that we were ready to have this announcement today, but things just kind of fell into place. The biggest being the painting by Amber Sherrill.
Yeah, the watercolor painting by Amber, we could not let sit without telling people about.
No.
We're really excited about it. We fell in love with it. We've been dealing with it for a while because we first approached her a few months ago at her first book signing, and she did the cover for her novel,
The Cat in the
The Cat in
Woods.
the Woods. If you haven't read it, go get it. We'll have a link for you. Go get it because it's a very good read for a first time.
Yeah.
No, it's a very good read for anybody, and as a first time novelist, it's an amazing read. But she did the cover art for that, and so we asked her, "It'd be really nice if you did the cover art for my third book, because it's going to be a little different from the Alan Harrison and Layla books, which have a definite theme. We've settled on a definite theme there. This is a little different, and we
Right.
wanted something a little special. And
Yep.
this actually, it absolutely
Blew us away.
it did. And we were there at the bookstore day at the signing, just sort of geeking, fanning all over the this artwork, probably embarrassing her. And then we came home and we had to negotiate a price for the artwork, and it was the weirdest, most reverse
Mm.
negotiation you've ever seen, because uh, Amber is
She's
she's a very down to earth person,
yes.
and we had to make sure that she was compensated appropriately for it. So we
Yeah.
worked out a deal that didn't make her uncomfortable, but also has a bonus schedule in there for her, so
Right.
that if we reach a certain number of sales with a closing point, she gets
A
a
bonus.
bonus. So we want to make sure she was rewarded for her excellent work.
Yeah.
We love Amber, and we're rooting for her. We're also trying to pressure her into writing a new book. So
Which she told me she actually did some work on, but she really isn't feeling it right now, and I told her that's
yeah, just
okay.
take
We all
yeah,
have
you
our
know.
blob
I
seasons.
I mean, I have been writing the Eclosion Point now for 3 or 4 months. It's
Yeah.
longer than I've ever written. The first 2 novels were very fast. This is taking a lot longer, but it's getting there. I'm ramping up. I'm toward
We are
the
busier, though,
We are
with
busier,
the
yeah.
other books.
I'm ramping up. I'm past the halfway point. I've got the last part of the book all mapped out. So we're still on schedule. We think we're gonna release probably in October. We'll update you more on that. We definitely want to release by around that time frame because we have an event coming up in November. We'd love to debut that book at. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. The other things that happened at the book show we're going to get into in our next segment, because we did discover some new books from local authors, and we want to give a shout out to some of them and really support local independent authors, whether they're self-published or whether they're publishing through small presses or even traditional publishing. Local
Yeah.
authors are very important, and it's good to support them. So, and then we're certainly going to do that, as we hope others support us, and they have been. We've had great support from local authors that we've met.
And it's fun to just chit chat with them,
Yeah,
and
and find out their story and the motivations for their book, and all sorts of things.
yeah.
So, anything else from
No, Eclosion Point.
Closing Point?
Look for it.
David Chin.
Cybernetic Residence and the Failsafe program are still available. In
Yep.
fact, if you are a Google Play reader, you
Right.
can get both books for 50% off right now.
Yep.
So Girl
Yep.
Math tells me you can go to the coffee shop, still have your Frappuccino, mocha, caramel latte, whatever, and
Yep.
afford both books.
Yeah, so it's Google Play's promotion is a book bundle. If you go and you put both in your cart, when you check out, it'll deduct 50% from the price. It's our way of celebrating the release of Cybernetic Resonance and really encouraging people on Google Play. I was a huge Google Play customer for many, 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 many years,
Yes.
and I really like their format. So if you like, if you're an Android user, or even if you can get the
Yeah, you can still get
Google
it
Play
on
app on your iPhone as
iPad,
well.
iPhone,
Yeah.
whatever.
You could go and get these books for half price and enjoy both and prepare for the Eclosion Point release.
Just a little funny story. So while we're at this event yesterday, this older couple comes up, and I can say older because they're older than us. And she's like, "Oh, this is right in my wheelhouse and stuff." And so she grabs the Failsafe program,
Yep.
goes to buy it. About 5 minutes later, her husband comes back and says she wants the second book too. So here's what I'm thinking is that she read the back of
While
the
she was in
Failsafe,
line.
right, and said, this is really good. I'm going to need both. So
Right.
the 50% off both
Yes.
works to your advantage.
Well, I think it really does, because I will tell you my honest review of both books is that I think The Failsafe Program is a good first novel. I think Cybernetic Resonance is a better novel technically because I evolved and got better and better in my writing as I do it, and I think the third book is even better. So I think you should read both. I think you definitely will enjoy the cybernetic.
What author is going to say, "Please don't read my first book"? None.
I don't know. We talked about Ian Fleming. You wanted to erase one of his books.
Well, yeah.
So authors sometimes do fall out of love with their book. It's not that I think the Failsafe Program is not a good book. I think it is. I think the story is very, very intriguing. The concept is important that you read that. But Cybernetic Resonance, I think, is a better narrative, is a fuller narrative. I like it. I really like the character development that occurs in that.
We get it. You like your books.
I do like them.
Okay, so let's move on, shall we?
The Analog Book Club.
The Analog Book Club, because we have a lot to unpack here.
We do.
So I'm currently reading The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and I'm to the point where I'm like, what? So I'm hoping to finish that this weekend. I'm still listening to Hamnet on audiobook. And what are you reading? You're still working on The Devil Star?
Still reading on We're still reading The Devil Star on Kindle, and I am still listening to On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Ian Fleming's novel, the second in the 3-part
Blofeld
trilogy, which I'm working my way through. So
yes.
I am still doing those things. But this week,
yes,
we're actually going to talk about
actual books that we
acquired at
yes
the Independent Bookstore Day.
So, sorry for my weird, awkward thingy. So, I'm like looking into writing a children's book, and it's daunting, and I really don't know what I'm doing, and my book is far too technical right now for a children's book.
It's a good story, though. It's a fascinating story. We'll tell you that Jeanne has this amazing ability to take a small idea and build this amazing world out of it in just a few sentences, and to the point where sometimes you're not sure if she's kidding or not. It's literally how it works. In fact, she told me this, so I'm not going to tell the whole story, but she told me this story once, multiple times, this really ridiculous story about her childhood, which I didn't believe for a minute because it's very over the top. But then one day we were with her dad, and she tells this story again, and she turns to her dad and says, right, he plays right along with her. And it had me like, she making that? What? No. She can weave a story like nobody. So she has a great idea.
Yeah.
But she doesn't necessarily have it figured out how to do it.
No.
I've never written in that genre, that children's book genre. It's been a long time since I read anything in that genre until recently.
Right.
But we had an opportunity to get some examples from and meet local authors who've written books for that age group.
Right.
And they were really good, and so we enjoyed them. We read several of them this morning as we were having our breakfast. And
so we're going to get into them. Mostly this was, we don't have children, so there's absolutely no reason for us to buy these books other than research. And actually this, the second book I'm going to talk about, I think everybody should read, but
and supporting local authors.
These are all local authors. Right. So, we met
each one of them yesterday.
Yeah. My Best Friend, Brutus by K.C. Tran. There we go.
Yep.
And it's a great little story about a young girl who gets bullied at school, and her family moves around a lot and meets a dog, and they become friends. And I was talking to the author, and she said that she was a military family and they moved around a lot, but the constant was her pets. So that's where the inspiration for this book came along. So
it's a great story for kids to read, to understand that these feelings that they're having are not or unusual, that it's right. It's okay that they feel a little alien when they're constantly having to make new friends. And so it's a really good story to reinforce that, sort of it'll get better. It gets better.
The second book, which I love, is called Good Vibes Only Rolly by Gabriella Alfonso, illustrated by Tal Winder Annette. Annette. And I'm sorry if I'm destroying your name. She is a pediatric occupational therapist. She got into an accident and needed to take some time off. And during that time, she fell into, I'm sure we've all experienced depression and, woe is me. So she started reading books about good vibes. And that's what this book is about, is that Rolly goes through his day and things don't go according to plan. And he remembers that he needs just to stop and think and keep the good vibes.
Enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment. So it's a great book. I feel like everybody in the world should read this book.
Right, because we have a tendency to get upset and to be stressed about things when things don't go exactly as we planned, even when what actually happens in our life can be celebrated.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's just it's a cute book. It has a great message.
Yeah. It is very, very inspirational to remind you to live the life that you have and don't get upset when things don't go right. Make the best of them. I know that's cliched, but we all have to be reminded.
We forget it.
Right? When, you go to the grocery store and you can't find the brand of butter you want, you discover a new brand.
Right.
Right? And it's like, oh, wow, this is even better, or this is just as good.
Right.
You don't need to stress about minor things that go wrong in your life.
Or the big things. The big things. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm kind of going through that right now in my career. I don't really know what's going on, and I need to just take a beat and think about the good parts of it.
Yep. What do you have next?
The next children's book is Pierre the Parrot's Guide to Paris.
Such a cute parrot.
I know. There we go.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yes.
It's a travel guide for kids to Paris. And there's just different. Here, let me see if I can.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
look how the dog.
This is probably my favorite.
Baguette the dog.
Baguette the dog. I don't think that's his name.
Yeah, he's called Baguette. He looks like a baguette.
Oh, Baguette the wiener dog. And he looks like a baguette.
Yep.
How cute. Anyway, it goes over all of the famous places in Paris, and apparently somebody left a parrot, or it escaped from a zoo or something.
I think it was a cargo ship that the parrots escaped from in the distant past, and they're just everywhere in the parks in Paris. And so,
right. It's written by Adam Ringoff and Laura Ringoff. They're married.
Yep.
And
he wrote it. She did the illustrations. But they apparently saw these parrots in Paris when they were visiting, and they thought it was really, really cool, and they thought it was an excellent way to bring a tour guide to a younger audience, because Pierre helps them tell the story in a way that can be engaging to a younger audience. We're probably
thinking third grade, fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
I worked in middle school. I don't know that sixth graders would be caught dead with this book, but they probably would read it at home.
They might be afraid to read it in front of their friends, but they would probably love it reading at home. And it's a really good way for parents to get their kids interested,
excited about their upcoming trip to Paris.
Yeah, if they're going to go to Paris. So that's really good. It's a really nice book. The hardback version we believe is actually being released next month.
Yeah.
I think it is available on Amazon in ebook form right now, but I think the hardback's coming next month.
Yeah, we were privileged to purchase it early.
Directly from the author, so that was fun. We have a couple more.
Yeah,
we haven't finished reading yet, so
we haven't even started, so we don't really know. Lover is a local artist, and she has several books. I picked up this one, The Storm in the Sea. It's a romance. All of the artwork is done by her. I'm excited to get into it and see it. We love local authors, and it takes place on Amelia Island, which is about 20-30 minutes north of here on the coast. Beautiful area.
So you got to be, if you want to be, really, you have to show the book like this and then turn it.
Well, yeah, but we haven't started reading it
yet.
I
know, but you got to show how.
This isn't TikTok.
Rule. No, when you do the shorts on TikTok later,
Oh, okay.
they're gonna expect that.
So, the last book is Song of the Unsung Mushroom by Sarah Clark Stewart. And we had the privilege of sitting next to her all day, and we got some really good information from her, basically about the audiobook.
Yes.
And that's after that, we decided we need to do that.
Do that because
Science fiction about mushrooms. And again, it's based in Jacksonville. So we're excited to.
Yep. Space, the St. Johns River plays a role in this book, and of course, if you know about Jacksonville, the St. Johns River runs right through Jacksonville. Jacksonville is built around the river, so it is a science fiction book. It is. She's a fascinating author. We spent some time visiting with her.
Yeah, she teaches at the local community college.
Yep, she's
English teacher.
She's an English teacher at the college. So we haven't read this yet. I look forward to reading it. She just talking to her was a pleasure, and we hope to meet with her again in our
Travels. Book
book travels. So that's just a little bit of the.
There were others there, and I could have bought more. I bought enough that I was put into a raffle. I guess I didn't win, although I haven't really checked my email today, so who knows? Right now, the tension is there. I could be a winner. I might have already won $540.
You'd be a winner. Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, so that's I think that's a great example of what it's like to go to one of these local book signings and meet with people, because you get more than just a book, right? You get to talk to the author, to listen to their experiences, to hear how they got there and what shaped their stories. And I think that's very important. I know that it helps me connect with readers when I'm able to talk to them, and we can talk about the book and the themes behind it and some of the real world.
Well, and just to get to know their why is important too. Like the Roly Poly book, to know that she put this book out because she knows that young kids have a problem with regulating those emotions, and that's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
It's okay to feel that stress, to feel concern, but to be able to find a way to center yourself, to say, you know what, let it go. Let's just find a way to make the best of it. And that's what Rolly does throughout the whole book. And he makes the best of the situation, and turns out in each of those circumstances to have a good outcome.
Yeah. Because
whether that's trying a new breakfast or finding ways to have fun on the playground when his favorite
swings
are in use,
unavailable,
or whatever. But it's a really good book. These have really strong messages that are good for kids, and frankly for all of us.
Right.
The world needs as many good examples of good messages.
Yeah.
And vibe that they can get, because it's lacking in some of our in some of our society. We need to get back to that.
Yeah. So fun book haul. I posted them already on my social media, and I tagged all of the authors in my Instagram story.
Right.
I don't think I tagged them all in my Instagram post, but whatever.
But if you're one of these authors, reach out to us and let us know about your experiences. We'd love to.
Yeah.
And maybe even have you as guests on the show at some point. But
that would be fun.
It would be fun. We definitely would love to do that. So amazing experience, and really made Analog Book Club segment
fun
this week.
And not like I'm still reading. I'm pretty close to finishing The Housemaid, and then of course I'm gonna watch the movie because that's what I do.
I'm really close to finishing The Devil's Star. It's a difficult read at this point because I've already watched the show, and it's not. I mean, the show was what it did tell me is they did a very good job of adapting it, because it's very close to the original story. or just some minor changes that we've kind of talked about in the past. So, but really good having, uh, it's very difficult in marketing for your books to get that personal connection with your reader that you can do in a 5-minute conversation at one of these book signings. So that's why authors do it. It's why readers
It's
love it.
draining. It's
It
a
is
big
draining.
day.
It is. It is. It is a even when it's not 100 degrees and it probably was
It
only
wasn't it was yeah, but that
eight,
sun
but it
was
felt
there
the
was
sun was
no
brutal.
clouds.
Sun was brutal. So, but even if it's not hot, it's a draining day. But we had a good time. We're committed to continuing to do them and to meet folks. So stay tuned and come out and meet us the next time we do one of these
Yeah,
events.
right now we are booked in July and in November. We just signed up for an event in November that we're excited about. We're probably going to do June is a busy
June,
month.
June's tough because I'll be in Las Vegas for business on one of those weeks. So we'll have that's a tough month to do it, but we'll figure it out.
Right.
If we're constantly looking for opportunities. If one comes available, we'll take a look at it. But that does not stop you from buying the book today. You can online with at jesuttonjr.com. You can get a signed edition for the same price that you could buy it anywhere else. And if it's in Jacksonville and you would love for us to personally meet you and bring it to you, we'll do that too.
Yeah.
So go online and order a copy today. That's for both of the books. They're both available that way.
So you mentioned that you are at a point in the Double Star that is tough because we have already watched that,
Right.
which leads right into our next segment, plot and popcorn.
Plot and popcorn. What are we
It's
watching?
been a quiet week for us in the television
It
set.
has been a quiet week. We haven't really watched a whole lot of TV this week,
No, and I don't know what we've
except
been doing.
except we did start watching
Oh, yes.
Young Sherlock Holmes, which I think I did a Google search a week or so ago, asking for detective stories, streaming detective stories that were highly regarded, and this was one of the 3 or 4 shows that came up with, and I watched the first half of the first episode, and I'm like, you know what, Jeannie probably would enjoy this, so we sat down the next night and watched the whole first episode. I think we watched 2 of them now.
Yeah.
3, 2,
2. 2.
so
We really haven't had
no,
time to, we prioritize sleep in this house. We do.
well, so, but it's really good. It is based on a series of books loosely.
Well, okay.
The books are actually of a younger age than this is Sherlock Holmes in his early 20s or something
Right.
at
Before he's met Dr. Watson, before he's
so
established.
yeah, he's not a
He's
detective yet.
no, he's a bit of a wreck.
Yeah, he's a bit of a black sheep.
Yes.
Which was kind of always true with his brother Mycroft, but the story talks about him. It also features James Moriarty at an earlier age, which of course turns out to be
His
Sherlock's
foe.
arch nemesis. In this story, they're friendly.
They are colleagues
They're,
at a
colleagues
college.
in competition.
Yes. At a
But friendly, but
they
a friendly sort
call
of
it uni?
competition. Yeah,
Is that what they call it?
uni.
Yeah.
Yeah, uni. Yeah. So, um, but it's a mystery set around his days at
Oxford.
and it sort of shows them as competitive and collaborators, but there's already a clear distinction between
Yeah.
Holmes, who's very, very moral and upstanding, and Moriarty, who obviously has that ethical
Doesn't yeah.
gray. He's what they call
Gray.
a morally gray character.
Yes.
So it's pretty good. We've only watched a couple episodes. There's some quirky ways that they do the. I mean, it's always how you're going to handle Holmes's
Mental.
internal.
Thank you. That's the word. Internal
is always difficult in films in a visual medium, but they have this little way to do it, which is a little quirky. but it works. Once you get used to it, you stop thinking about it too much. But so we're excited to finish that series. That's what we've been watching on streaming. The other thing that happened this weekend
NFL
is the NFL
draft.
draft. So we are Jaguar fans. So it could be because the Jaguars are really low key this year. They didn't have a first round pick because they used it last year for the Travis Hunter pick. But I just felt this was a very low key draft. And we did watch the majority of the first
We
round
did.
on Thursday.
A lot of emotions for
There
these young
were
players,
a
but
lot of emotions for the young players, but to me, it felt overall more low key, like the excitement, the talent level wasn't there. And again, that could be because we didn't feel it because we had no investment in it. But it just felt a little low key to me, and maybe I'm wrong about that. You can write in and tell us that we missed that. If your team had an exciting pick, maybe you feel differently about that. We just didn't feel it that way. And then we watched a little bit, not so much yesterday morning because we obviously were busy.
well, we did watch Friday, some of the picks.
Some of the we watched Friday. We did watch Friday night because the Jaguars had 4 picks Friday night. So we watched that a little bit. Yesterday we didn't watch it at all until late in the day.
Right.
And
They were pretty pretty punchy at that point, so
Right.
that's always fun.
By the time we got
Rich
to
Eisen
late in
is
the day, Rich Eisen and the team had sort of tripped over into silliness. Then we had the whole Rich run segment, which is a wonderful thing that he does for charity for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And they did the stump the truck, but it was getting to the point of silliness by that point. But so that's what we did watch this week, the NFL draft. I'm looking forward to training camp and the season coming up.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it for
Yeah. We
popcorn.
we have an episode of Hacks to watch.
Yeah. Well, we still don't have a great recommendation for a good dramatic series. We are watching Young Sherlock Holmes, but if you have a great show we should be watching.
I really do want to watch Pachenko, but that is something that we're going to have to watch.
Yes. Pay attention to. You can't really watch it in the
No,
background.
because you have to read while you watch because it's Korean, Japanese, and English
Wow.
at any given moment.
That's very
But the book is really good, so
that's very aspirational.
and our new friend, Ms. Clark, said the series was good too.
Yeah. Yep, she did make it. So, and she's about to write. I think her next project is a historical.
Yeah, she wants to delve into that.
Into way back history.
Yeah.
We're talking prehistory, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll let her tell her own story.
Right.
But that's it. Okay, well, I think we're on to the next segment.
Yeah, what's for dinner?
What's for dinner? What for dinner was pretty light this week, too. We didn't have
Except for we did finally try a recipe that I have been holding onto for months, and I mean months, the lasagna soup from the New York Times Cooking.
so good.
So freaking
very, very
good.
good.
And so much easier than making a lasagna.
Yes.
Which I have never tried.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried that either. I mean, maybe I'd like to do it now because.
Yeah.
But the lasagna soup was fantastic. Flavors were all there. It was so amazing. However, when the next time we do it, and we will do it again, we learned a very valuable lesson, and that is
right. You're supposed to break the lasagna noodles into basically bite-sized pieces, but it said 1 inch crosswise. So we're just like taking the noodle and crunching it and throwing it in, and they were too big.
Yeah, they were too big. You want the noodles really, really small because they expand, right?
Yeah.
Lasagna noodles expand. All noodles do, but noodles expand when they get into the liquid.
Oh my gosh, I'm a noodle.
Noodles expand. So we have these really big squares once they finish cooking, and they're a little difficult to eat in a soup. You really need a knife and fork at that point. So they need to be really, really smaller pieces because the tiny little chunks were perfect size. And so we need to make sure that we do that in the future. When we do this again, and we'll make it much, much better.
Yeah. And we always think, I mean, it did take a little longer because you have to brown both meats and all of that. It's a little bit, it's probably an hour-long dinner and not one of our usual 30-minute dinners, which is fine. It was a great weekend meal. So yeah, we will be doing that again because it did taste so freaking good. And we had leftovers for days and it was wonderful. For lunch the next day, I think it actually tasted better.
I think it was better. Yeah.
But that might just be
How it
the
marinates together.
phew, that worked out.
Well, I think we talked about that as when you're cooking a meal, it's difficult to enjoy it right after you've cooked it. It just is because you're sort of the emotion is sort of you sort of rely you're sort of the adrenaline drops down from having accomplished it. You got it all done. It didn't burn. You didn't burn it. You didn't ruin it. And then it's really sometimes difficult to get a really a lot of a great enjoyment out of it. You can say, "Oh, this is good. It worked out," but you don't feel the same way about it. The next day, though, when you don't have any of those pressures, you're like, "Man, this is really, really good."
Yeah.
And so Jeannie had it the next day for lunch. I had the next day for lunch. I then had it again a second day this last week for lunch. Was really, really good. Amazing flavors.
Yeah.
So, and you finish it. What well, just for you, you finish it with
Ricotta cheese
ricotta
and Parmesan
and Parmesan
cheese
cheese mixed
and mix
together.
it all up in.
It's amazing. Creates this creamy
Yeah.
flavor. It was very, very good. So
Decadent.
yes, decadent flavors. We didn't spend a lot of time cooking this week, but that was amazing meal.
We did have date night.
We did do date night.
And we went to 14 Prime and the service was impeccable. Food was delicious. Yeah. It's not that I didn't like it. I loved it. It was a wonderful evening. There was just something, I don't know.
I think they're trying really, really hard to create an atmosphere. I don't think the decor created quite the atmosphere that the service did.
It was very loud.
It was very loud, but I mean, the food was excellent. The service was very, very good. There's no issues. I mean, if you haven't been there, absolutely, we would recommend giving it a shot. That's a great date night restaurant. It's not cheap. It's
No.
expensive. Save your pennies. You're going to need them. But it was worth it. We wouldn't eat there.
And maybe
a
it's
lot,
just
but we
because
every
I have a gluten sensitivity because of my Hashimoto's, that maybe that just little hiccup in the night kind of threw my expectations
there was
off.
a little bit of a hiccup at the appetizer portion where they didn't bring out part of your appetizer.
Right.
So maybe that's a little bit of
Maybe that's why I was like,
but we had ribeyes and
oh, this delicious crab stir fry.
stir fry, which we actually have some of.
Yeah, we do. Lunch.
So it was good. It was good. I would recommend that you go there and give it a try if you're in the
and the banana Foster's dessert was good.
Dessert. The banana is banana Alaska is what they call it.
Banana Alaska.
So
Banana Foster's Alaska.
It was no Foster's. I think it was just bananas Alaska. Anyway,
we'll have the menu in the
go to the tape. But anyway, they came out and actually did
torching.
Used a torch on it to crisp up the ice cream.
Brown the marshmallow
on over the ice cream.
We're gonna crisp the ice cream because that's possible.
They're gonna crisp the ice cream. Probably would melt, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it probably would.
That's why they put the.
I mean, if they put sugar over the top of the ice cream, they could have caramelized it. It was the marshmallow. You're so cute.
Anyway, this is why we don't have a torch in there.
The ice cream. That's what we're gonna do later on.
So anyway, I think that's a good side that every story has an ending, but our process is just getting started.
Thanks for joining us behind the scenes at the Co-Authored Life.
I'm J.E. Sutton Jr.
And I'm Jeannie. To see what we're currently working on, visit jesuttonjr.com, and we'll see you in the next chapter. Crisping ice cream.
Gonna crisp some ice cream a little bit later. Gonna go get some to prove I can do it.
Yeah, it becomes soup.
Ooh, ice cream soup.